Hey everybody, this is Terrell. It's a beautiful weekend where I am. I hope it's a good one for you as well. I just wanted to carry on a bit more with this book. I'm going to do, I think, this session and then maybe one more. But the author of this book, Beth Kurland, as I mentioned to you, I did a session with her and lovely human being. And I reached out to her and I said, Hey, how would you like to be on our podcast? I have the Honest Pause podcast with my partner Miriam Taheri, and she said yes. So I'll do this little bit here, talk about it, maybe one more, and then hopefully we'll be getting Beth on the podcast real soon. So I just wanted to let you know about that. So here we go, and I absolutely love the trying to find the right place so I can read and still see you. Um, I love how she starts this next little bit. It says, the first time I'm just going to make sure I am recording. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. Ah, the first time I met Miss Fuck You, I was in my early 30s. She wore baggy sweatpants and a hooded sweatshirt that she hid behind. She had unkempt hair and piercing eyes, and she was very angry. She was angry for thinking that she had to be perfect and successful in order to be loved and accepted. How many of us think that way? Hmm? In order to be loved and accepted. Even though, by all outside appearances, she was quite successful, she was angry that no matter how much she achieved, some deep part of her didn't feel like she was enough. She was angry that she felt such shame about her body because her curves and shapes or shape didn't match the bombardment of cultural images that she received on how she needed to look in order to attract a man, even though she had a wonderful man in her life. She was angry that for so many years she pushed away her grief and sadness about her mom's death when she was a teen, at the high price of anxiety that masked the sadness. She was rebellious and full of rage, feeling emotions that she had never allowed herself to express. She was everything that I couldn't be, and yet she was a part of me that I had ignored for many years of my life. When I was 4 years old, I remember sitting on my blue embroidered bedspread in our little suburban split level house in Michigan, anxiously asking the babysitter every time she tucked me in, was I good, bad, or rambunctious? I desperately wanted my parents' approval, and I mistakenly came to believe, from my limited 4-year-old perspective, that my parents' love was dependent on me being happy, never angry, perfectly well-behaved little girl. Later at 15, shortly after my mom died, I wrote a letter. I wrote in a letter, pardon me, to my then boyfriend. I don't know why I'm feeling so depressed. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have so much to be happy about. I never missed a day of school. I never got less than an A. I put away my sadness and grief, and I mustered on. But I don't think I'm alone. Messages from our culture, from well-meaning authority figures, and from the media tell us that certain feelings are unacceptable. They tell us to be strong, stop fussing, don't get angry. Come on, don't be sad. Surely you need to be happy, like the people in the ads. Here, have some ice cream or buy this product to feel better. So we put these feelings away in the service of our well-being, or we become hijacked by our feelings because we don't know how to meet and greet and hold them. And without a safe container, they have nowhere to go and spill over. We may run and hide from ourselves, from the very parts of ourselves that need our deepest attention. We do this because we think it will help us feel better, because we think we are not good enough, or that we need to bury what we perceive as broken. We push our feelings away because we think we need to look or be a certain way to gain approval or even love, or because we think it isn't safe to allow ourselves to feel what is there. But when we do this, somewhere along the way, we are abandoned by the very person that we need most, ourself. Mm, that is so great. Um, I could go on for a little bit more, but I think I'll just, well, maybe I will a little bit, just a little bit, okay? So then she goes into a chapter entitled The Happiness Problem. We have a happiness problem in our culture, and it is making many of us, well, unhappy. There is an unspoken myth that somehow we should be happy, at least much of the time, as if happiness is the holy grail or gold standard upon which we determine the value of our life. The problem is that when we don't feel happy, we often feel like we are falling short in some way, or that there is something wrong, or even that there is something wrong with us. It is common for me to hear people of all ages talk about their experiences with the social media comparison trap and how they see all their online connections posting pictures that make it appear that they are so happy that their lives are picture perfect. In contrast, many people feel that their lives don't match up or that something must be missing. What they don't see, of course, is the whole range of human experiences behind the snapshot photos and brief taglines, the heartbreaks and grief and losses and challenges that we all experience. In this happiness culture, we have come to judge our other emotions, our more difficult emotions, as bad, unwanted, undesirable, or a sign of weakness repeatedly. I have sat with patients going through deep grief and loss of all kinds and equating being strong with holding it all together, not crying or not feeling their sadness. The implicit messages that we are taught somehow tell us that feeling difficult emotions intensely is a sign of weakness and that happiness is what we should strive for. Wow. Oh, we're going to chat about this. Additionally, as much as we are taught all manner of skills in our families, schools, and workplaces over the course of our childhood and our adult lives, we are not taught what to do in the face of life's difficulties and with the uncomfortable emotions that may arise. We are taught, directly and indirectly, to value happiness. Cheer up, look on the bright side, wipe away those tears, and let's see that smile. But other less pleasant emotions are often sorely neglected, not given airtime, and deemed undesirable. Being happy is not a problem. In fact, it is a wonderful feeling, and I wish that all of us can experience it often. But when we strive for happiness at the expense of all else, we can suffer greatly. Part of the reason for this is because the common notion of happy in our culture, at least in the she puts this in parenthesis, at least in the American culture I grew up in, with its emphasis on hedonic happiness, um, hedonic, I guess, or how do I even say that? Oh my gosh. You guys can all laugh. Put a little note down below. Um, it's hedonic, whatever, you know what I mean. Happiness or pleasure has several limitations. I'm gonna leave it there.